Thank you so much. Welcome everyone to this session. I will present, I have this presentation prepared today, but I will not be the main speaker. We have our speakers ready today. I'm really happy to see all of you here today. So let me start with this presentation. I will try to be really quickly and then we can continue with the presentation from the ambassadors. So we have the first topic of our agenda. So the first topic is the result of the survey that you already respond. I'm really happy to see your responses there. So thank you so much for your pictures, for the identify the sustainable development goals in your region, in your island. So thank you for that. So the second one will be the ambassador map, because I would like to explain you a little bit more about that. Then we have the ambassador's presentation from Asia, from Europe, from North America, from Africa, from Latin America, from the Caribbean and Oceania. And then we have the Islands Finance Forum, just to let you know about that. And if you are interested, you can participate there and we will have a conversation time. After the presentation of the ambassadors, you will have time to raise your hand and you can ask the ambassadors any questions. If you have any questions, you can ask the presenters today. So the first topic is challenge of the month survey. So it was the focus on this survey. So we have here that the ambassadors by region that respond to the survey. We have Latin America, we have Africa, Europe, Asia, Caribbean. So the majority of our answers are from the Caribbean. Then we have Asia, we have Europe. So I'm really happy to see answers from Europe. We didn't have a really high involvement from the Caribbean in the past. So now we have more answers from Europe. Sorry. So then we have what sustainable development goals is more pertinent to your community. It was one of the questions in the survey. So we have the majority of the ambassadors has answered that the most pertinent sustainable development goal in their island is the climate action. So you have the sustainable development goals here. And then we have number 14. So number 14 is life below water. So this is the second one. And then we have 7 and 11. So 7 is affordable and clean energy. And we have 11 that do sustainable cities and communities. Okay, so let me continue now. And we have most pertinent sustainable development goals. Again, here you can see bigger the pictures of the sustainable development goals in your communities. And then we have most pertinent sustainable development goal selected by our ambassadors by region. So this is really important. What are the most pertinent in by region? So we have the results here in Africa. The most pertinent is clean water and sanitization. Then we have Asia, climate action. We have Caribbean here, affordable and clean energy, and then climate action. In Europe, no poverty, and then we have sustainable cities and communities. We have North America and its sustainable cities and communities, but also climate action. And then we have Oceania with the responsible consumption and production and climate action. So I can see that climate action is repeated by the regions before. And then we have in Latin America, sorry, I have forgotten Latin America. So we have a partnership for the goals. So this is interesting because we haven't had this development goal before. So I think this is really interesting to know. So then we have ask the ambassadors of pictures, if you can share pictures of the islands or your communities that the ambassador have taken that represent the chosen development goals. So we have some information here, and you can see a dolphin, you can see, I remember this is from Estonia, we have from Africa, from different regions. I remember this is from Spain. I have read your answers, so I will have really interesting pictures that you have sent us. Then we have more pictures. So you can see here from Haiti, I know Mayer Dorin is here, and we have some others that represent gender equality and agriculture, water below, life below water, sorry. And then let me see, we have more pictures here, agriculture, sargassum, this is Francisca Elmer, I know. So we have, this is from Europe, and from Belize, this picture, and the solar panel. So we have a lot of pictures around the world. I know this is Pacific Islands, so let me see. And then we have the second topic. So this is the ambassador map. You already have the map in the ambassador page in the website. So if you want to connect with other ambassadors, or if you want to know how many ambassadors are in your island, so you have to go into this map and you can check their profiles. We have added your LinkedIn account. So if you have any questions or if you don't have your bio, your picture because you haven't sent before, we will have survey available when you can add all of the information. So please don't send me the information by one by email. I will receive throughout this survey. And then
Well, just on that quickly, I've put the link in the chat so people can go and check out the map. It's going to be a great resource. And if you want to contact people that you find there, you'll either find their social media information, or you'll find their name, and then you can contact them in the Slack. But as Isabel said, I'm sure there's going to be mistakes on the map. There was 400 people to add, so we bear with us if there are. And then if you do need one, we'll send out that form, as Isabel mentioned, that you can fill in to change them. But I just love exploring the map to see what an amazing, diverse community is involved in this program. Super cool.
Okay, thank you, James. And if you check this presentation, you can click on this map, and it will redirect you to the website. So then we have ambassador post that I think is really nice to highlight the post that you have been done. So I'm really happy to read for example, the press release. You already have the press release and acceptance letter into the website. So I have received some of the comments from the ambassadors, asked me, Isabel, where I can use my, or when I can use my, can I use my press release, or what is the purpose of this? So it's to communicate to the media in your island or the press in your island about your participation as an ambassador in the ambassador program this year. And so I think it will be really useful if you send to the press in your country. And then we have some other posts from the ambassadors. We have here one, it was really interesting from Grace Kimaru from Nigeria. So she did a post like, I have been rejected from a program, but I have been accepted in the Ambassador Island Innovation Ambassador Program. So I'm really happy of these kind of comments. And then we have more posts. So this is in Spanish, but the director of human resources have been selected as an ambassador in the Ambassador Island Innovation Ambassador Program. And we have another announcement throughout LinkedIn announcing your role as an ambassador. So I think I cover everything from my side. But now it's time to speak with the ambassador. So we have a presentation from our ambassador. So let me go with the Alfredo Coro. So I have to stop to share this one, and then we can continue. So
and Alfredo is in the Philippines, so it's early in the morning. So we have a video, but I think everyone else is live, right, Isabel?
yes. So maybe we can continue with the next with the next ambassador, and then I can back to them to. Oh, let me continue. So then I can come back to Alfredo because I have the video from Alfredo already. So the next speaker will be Borja Suaza from Tenerife, Canary Islands. So Borja, I have a short video here, like he is the director of marketing in the Duke Shops and Governmental Tenerife. So Borja, you are invited to participate, to present today.
Yeah, hello to everyone, to all the community, and welcome to my island, yeah, to Tenerife Islands. We are 8 islands in the north of the Atlantic Sea. We we are really close to Africa. And
Borja, sorry to interrupt you, but do you have a presentation prepared for today?
Yes, let me check if I can share. 1 second.
Okay.
I don't know how to do it, sorry. Compartir pantalla. Okay, 1 second. And here it is. You can see it now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, sorry for the delay. Okay, this is us. We are close to Africa, but we belong to Spanish government. We are really good connected with flights because we are tourist business for Europe, and we all the British, we welcome all the European with a nice weather in the Canary Islands. Tenerife is the island with most population. We are almost 1 million inhabitants here, and we duplicate this when it's high season. It means we are almost 2 million persons when we have high season with tourism. It means a lot of waste, a lot of communication problems, and a lot of noise, and a lot of things that goes together always with the tourists in the way that we concept the tourist right now. I hope it changed with the time. If we see where the people come from in the Canary Islands, because of the language and also the migration years ago of Canary people to Venezuela, we have a big community of Italian and Cuban people, and of course all the German and all the European countries, because we are very attractive because of the weather, the connections and taxes, and working in the Canary Islands. What is interesting, or what is attractive for the people, if we see for the Tenerife as a tourist, as a place to meet for the tourist industry. Tenerife Island, it has a many experience. We have the highest mountain in Spain, that is the Volcano Teide, and it's very attractive because of the nature of the national park. We have sea, as all the islands, of course, and we have a lot of attractive attractions, like the second most important water park after Dubai, that is Siam Park, and more things for the tourists. Also, we have, as you can see here, this is the Teide Mountain. We have beaches around the island. It's a comfortable and safe place for tourists. And we have one of the cleanest skies in the world for the seaside stars, and also for the observatory in La Palma, where La Palma Island that has an eruption, volcanic eruption few months ago. For the international companies and business, we have a good taxation. We have 4%. That is attractive because we have good connection with the island and Africa, good connection with South America, and also with the African continent. That's what makes us as a hub, as a meeting hub for companies in the Canary Islands. And this is why it is one of the key points of the Canary Islands government to develop, to going further. You can see we are close to Africa. Those are the connections that we have weekly. That's why with the Sustainable Development Goals, I mark the point 17. That is the most important from my point of view, the most important for the island. That is partnership for the goals. It doesn't mean that we don't need the other Sustainable Development Goals, but for me, it's the key point. Why? Because without partnership, we can have all the industry, we can have all the important things like ecology, like water, but we need to stress bridges with other communities to be stronger. For example, one of the problems we have in the Canary Islands, as I said before, is the nature of the tourism. That is stretching our resources like water, like nature, and we need to find a sustainable development of this industry in our islands. That I think most of the islands connected in island innovation have the same problem with the high occupation of our islands when we talk about tourism. Yeah. Above all, what I believe or I think is that if we have the participation associations like this, Island Innovation, is the key point to go together for common goals, to go together to have more innovation, of course, not in tourism, to go together to have a solution for our energy, of our water treatment, and more things. Now, without being together or work together in a partnership, we cannot afford these goals. The topic 3, main barriers, challenges, and needs. Yeah, for our biggest obstacle, the easy way to think will be distance, but I don't think so, and I tell you why. We are right now we are connected 124 persons from around the world, focusing in work in development of a community, of our island community, and this is the key point. It doesn't mean that it doesn't matter if we are apart from each other, because we have focused the same problem, that we need more development for our islands. And this is our goal. We are strong enough to start from here and going further. Thank goodness to the Innovation Island Connection, the connectivity to internet, our connections, the islands that have development, all these good connections, but we all have the same problem. We are small communities with strong people working together, but we need to go further, and the only way is through partnership.
Well, we're going to have to wrap up. We have a lot of speakers, sorry.
Okay, I go faster. Sorry. That's why I will leave the presentation also in the group as I finish, and that's why I'm here. I collaborate to each other, going together, grow together, and bring some conference or every conference will come to the Canary Islands, because we really need the Canary Islands and the North Islands going in island innovation. Thanks for your time. Sorry, I try my best to go fast, and if you don't mind, I will post it in Slack for the whole community. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Borja, for your presentation. Then after the presentations, you will have time. This is for all of the ambassadors. You will have time to ask questions to Borja.
Okay.
If you have any feedback, or if you want to continue the discussion around Europe, or if you want to share something about the perspective of your island in Europe as well. So you can maybe you can discuss the difference between the presentation of Borja and your island. So then we will have more time. So thank you so much, Borja. So now we will continue with the next speaker. So next speaker is Gail Richard. She is from Maui and San Juan Islands in North America. So she is representing now the region of the North America. And Gail became a trainer of interpretation of nature and heritage, and has conducted trainings in several countries. So Gail, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Isabel, do you have the presentation for me, or shall I use my notes?
You can use your presentation. If you prefer, I can present from my side. So let me find it. Yeah, but I think this is okay. You can continue with your presentation.
Okay. I'm going to speak today about the San Juan Islands because it's not enough time to talk about both Maui and San Juan. However, in terms of immigration, the two are have a lot in common. So I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of moment to pull that up, but I hope I can get it soon. San Juan Island is in the Salish Sea between Canada and the United States. And this island is very small, 1,600 square meters, and with a population of 6,600 people. This population grows exponentially in the summer with the tourists. Tourism is the main economic basis of the island. The most important SDG in my island has to do with sustainability for islanders. The island traditionally the economy was based on fishing and agriculture until very recently, and now it's almost exclusively on tourism. There's a very small number of residents, so in the past, this was very manageable because it could stay balanced and sustainable. But now with more people moving in, cost of living getting higher, and of course the tourism, it's no longer possible, and it's not diversified at all. And so with all these increased demands and without adequate infrastructure, the expansion and employment opportunities have really affected the services for islanders. So this is our main goal, is to try to provide these services for islanders. We don't have any on-island medical, with the exception of very basic general practitioners. So islanders have to leave the island in order to get medical help, and that is dependent on the ferry service. The other areas that are affected are affordable housing, education, childcare, and yeah, that's it. So in terms of the needs and the challenges and the barriers, one is the reliable transportation is probably one of the most important things. It's an aging population on this island because there isn't any other diversity in terms of work. And as a result, the islanders need to go off island to get their medical needs. As I said, the ferries are run by the state of Washington and they're extremely unreliable. There's a shortage of staff. They're canceled all the time or delayed. So this becomes a really big issue for the islanders. Also housing, because of the increase of very wealthy people coming in, and short-term housing in terms of Airbnb and that kind of thing. There's a huge lack of housing for everybody. So these are the main parts. If we had a more mixed demographic, if we had a more diversified economy, I think we could have a more mixed demographic, and it would be a lot easier. So that's it in a nutshell, as we say. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail, for that. Super interesting, and it's great to have this range of different islands represented in this discussion, because I think what we want to do is, after we've gone through all these, have an opportunity to compare and contrast the different issues taking place in different parts of the world. So now I've got a video, as I mentioned.
James, before to go with Alfredo, I will introduce Alfredo. So, Alfredo, yeah, I know Alfredo is not here today. Maybe he's here, but I don't know. I'm not sure. So we have a video from Alfredo. So a short bio of Alfredo. So Alfredo Matugas Coro Sencon completes his 3 terms as the municipal mayor of Del Carmen in Siargao Island. So he is the mayor of this island. And I'm really happy to say that this is the 3rd year being ambassador of Island Innovation. So thank you so much, Alfredo, for your contribution and your collaboration. So James, now you can play the
Warm greetings to all the ambassadors of the Island Innovation and all the participants in this call. Ladies and gentlemen, maradyaw na adlaw sa ato tanan. A pleasant day to everyone. I am Alfredo M. Coro II, currently the Vice Mayor of the Del Carmen Siargao Islands, Philippines, and Ambassador of Island Innovation. Our agenda will focus on 4 areas. First, an introduction of our home, Del Carmen, Siargao Islands, Philippines. Second, the need for climate action now. Third, challenges in local and global climate action. And fourth, our climate action, what we have done as a community. Let me welcome you first to my home, Del Carmen in Siargao Islands in the Philippines before the COVID pandemic and the Category 5 Typhoon Odette devastated our home, our livelihood, and our spirit. We are located in the eastern seaboard of the Philippines, or part of the Pacific Jinx, meaning you get your fair share of natural disasters. Our position is exacerbated with the Philippines being the 3rd most climate vulnerable country in the world. Del Carmen is one of the 9 municipalities of Siargao Islands in the Philippines. In 2019, Condé Nast declared Siargao Islands as the #1 island destination in the world, and in 2021, as the #1 island in Asia, with Time magazine declaring Siargao as one of the 2021's greatest places. Climate action as an SDG priority. The impact of climate change with extreme weather events can no longer be ignored. We are one of the latest victims of climate change. It has been 2 months since being ground zero of the storm on December 16, 2021, and here we are fighting back to regain ourselves and our island. Food insecurity is the biggest and immediate impact of climate change in intensifying droughts, flooding, and storms. Resolving hunger is a priority. In our recent experience from COVID-19 and Typhoon Rai, we achieved 0% involuntary hunger, resulting to 0% crimes related to hunger within 2 weeks after the typhoon made landfall. Restoring public health system. Climate impact on public health. We needed to address potential health outbreaks with containment of COVID-19 virus through vaccination, waterborne and other communicable diseases by providing access to water and establish emergency tertiary care of wounds and other health risks of vulnerable groups, pregnant women, young children, senior citizens, etc. Shelter rehabilitation and improvement. Immediate repair of shelters focusing on strong roofing support to protect their families and have clear mind to think of personal strategies in recovery of livelihood. Addressing shelter also addresses mental health of the families. Climate and children. We often ignore psychological impacts of climate extreme events on children, who will also serve as our next frontliners for when their time would come. We need to address children's needs from health, education, and food security. Allow us at this point to share our current recognized and qualified major challenges in the climate action for both national and international governments from the context of local governance. Challenge number 1, being geographically isolated and disadvantaged area, which was clearly manifested during the first few weeks after Typhoon Rai. As an island community, we had logistical challenges to bring assistance to Siargao and our smaller islets. With damaged seaports, our supply was initially sent through the airports, while we have the challenge of repatriating thousands of tourists. Challenge number 2, LGU Del Carmen's efforts and initiative have significantly reduced poverty incidence by 32% from 2010 to 2018. The remaining 37% was planned to be addressed by various programs aimed to further reduce poverty by another 20%. We thought we were addressing poverty and inequity, but Typhoon Odette made us realize that there is more to addressing poverty than just monetary income, but the need for a strong social protection program to make everyone absorb shocks to their daily income and routines show the inequity between various groups of people. Challenge number 3, the COVID pandemic's negative impact was amplified with the recent Typhoon Rai. Financially secure families could easily address the access to services, while the poor and vulnerable population suffers dire consequences such as access to food and water security due to loss of livelihood, access to decent shelter space to allow isolation areas to lower risk, access to health with cost of healthcare and cost of reducing health risk, and access to education and information using the internet as a platform for learning. Challenge number 4, extreme weather event. Last December 16, 2021, Category 5 Super Typhoon Rai made landfall on our municipality and we became ground zero. Many more islands and coastal towns are experiencing more climate extreme weather events that is destroying our dreams. Our climate action, we are introducing safe spaces as a strategy. Safe spaces for families. We need to relocate hundreds of families in coastal communities to minimize risk of lives. To mitigate this risk, massive mangrove rehabilitation was done, which resulted into having the largest contiguous mangroves in the Philippines at 5,000 hectares. We have 0% mangrove cutting and 95% reduction in illegal fishing activities. Safe space for business and employment, transitioning from ecotourism to social tourism. Our community-based program has helped more than 30% of our population address poverty, and we are rebooting the program with the opening of our domestic airport last February 22, 2022. We never lost our beautiful waves, beaches, and biodiversity. Safe space for agriculture and fisheries. With funding support from the People's Survival Fund, we established the Siargao Climate Field School for farmers and fisherfolks to develop and share process and technology for the frontliners of our food security. The operationalization of this research institution is in partnership with SSCD Del Carmen Campus, DOST, and other national agencies. So far, we have added a water testing facility to ensure clean, potable drinking water is guaranteed for the locals and visitors. With our available technology and science, we will also look into biotechnology and the products we can develop from the Climate Field School. We are aiming to start these programs from 2022. At this point, therefore, I call upon donors, fellow governments, and corporations. Please share us your help in forms of technical, financial, and investments as we re-establish safe spaces for ourselves and other island economies that were hit by climate extreme events. Salamat gajud karajaw sa ijo hurot. Thank you very much for the opportunity. To extend help, please contact us through the contact details shown. #Bangon Del Carmen, #Rise Up Del Carmen.
Okay, really interesting, really nice video. So thank you so much, Alfredo. I know that it's 2 a.m. for you now. So thank you for being here today. I can see Alfredo is here. So if you have any questions or if you would like to discuss something with Alfredo, we will have a time. So
Yeah,
now,
just while you're sharing, Isabel, really appreciate all the work you did on that, Alfredo. And Christian's also just posted a link to an interview we did recently about the response to the Category 5 storm that hit Siargao Islands that we posted recently. So the link to that is in the chat.
okay. Okay, so next speaker today is Rafika Atwood from Antigua and Barbuda. So Rafika Atwood is the founder and first board president of the not-for-profit and first community managed national park in Antigua and Barbuda. So Rafika, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Are you going to share for me or do I need to share my screen?
If you can share let me stop to share so you can share now.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, good afternoon from sunny Antigua and Barbuda. I am Rafika Atwood. I am the founder, first board president of the only community managed national park on the island for Antigua and Barbuda. And let me do a shameless plug, we came around in 2018 and we were nominated by USA Best Today as one of the best Caribbean attractions for 2022, so we're ranked number 5. Wallings Nature Reserve is a community initiative led by persons of grassroots origins working on ensuring that the space we have stays protected because everybody's doing development nowadays, but it's not sustainable. We are hitting 11 of the 20 targets, more focusing on climate action. So the area managing is 1,680 acres of rainforest, and it's a part of the last remaining rainforest on the island. Because we want to ensure that we have trees for future generations, and I want to think about my children, my nieces, my nephews coming up, and even persons in the community, we've created a safe space to ensure that persons can enjoy themselves in nature, because guess what? We all want to have somewhere where we can relax on the weekends, not be busy with the fog, the smog, the noise. We just want tranquility, and we want to ensure the space we're protecting is vital to that. The challenges we are having is we need stronger legislations, we need awareness, we need funds, we need volunteers, we need persons to say, yes, I love the outdoors, yes, I want to protect the environment, yes, I want to be involved. So we want persons of that nature, whether it's here, whether it's far, to say, this is what is happening in Antigua, maybe can trickle over to my island. We are sharing similar sentiments or issues wherever you're living. That is one of the challenges that we hope to overcome. I think, so we are doing a major reforestation. So the Signal Hill Reforestation Project, and I'm wearing the shirt today because I'm coming from another consultation. So we're reforesting the second highest hill on Antigua and Barbuda, because what is happening, we get forest fires every year. And we have lost more than 80% of the primary forest in that location. So what we're doing now, we're putting in a secondary forest. In addition to that, because we want persons to explore, we have created a unique trail system where each trail at the nature reserve has its own color, flags, and information. So if persons were to get lost, we can quickly find them, because we had a situation previously where persons were using the space and they had to sleep overnight because no one knew they were here. They had no way of getting on or off the trail. And in 2020, we had a rescue where somebody fractured their foot in 2 places, and it took us 59 minutes to get them off the trail and at the hospital for attention. I have a video to play. Let me see what's happening in the video. I have no idea what's happening with my video.
I think you have to click in the center of the video. So, okay, we can see your video now.
can't hear it, unfortunately, Rafika. We might have to skip it. But it's good to see the images and get a feel for how the island looks. Rafika, not sure, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, maybe you want to just talk and explain a little bit because we can't hear it, unfortunately.
Okay. That concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, you can just drop them in the chat. I'll post my LinkedIn details right there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rafika. Maybe you can write in the chat an explanation of the video. I think it will be really useful, but at least we can see the pictures of the video and the work that you are doing there. So thank you so much for sharing your work in your island. So then we have the next speaker, but I'm not sure if Patricia is here. So if you are here, you can say hello. But let me see. No, not Patricia, because I have received
I'm here.
Okay. Thank you, Patricia. Nice to have you here today. So Patricia Pedrus Patricia Pedrus currently works at the Department of Environment, Climate Change and Emergency Management of the Federated States of Micronesia, national government in Pohnpei. So Patricia, the floor is yours.
I'm not sure if we had the wrong Patricia before or what just happened, but I'm not sure if she's here.
I don't see her on the participants
Oh,
list.
okay. I listened that someone say, yeah, I'm here, but maybe it was another Patricia. So, okay. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you for your presentation. We can continue now with the next speaker. And if you back to the presentation, we can introduce you again and you can do your presentation. So next speaker is Angela Oluchi. I'm not sure if the correct pronunciation, maybe Oluki. Angela Oluchi is a program officer with the Synergy Care Development Initiative in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State in Nigeria. So Angela is representing the region of Africa. So Angela, the floor is yours.
I can see Angela here, but I'm not sure if she's able to unmute or if there's a technical issue.
Angela, no? Angela, no? Angela, no? Okay, so we can continue with the next speaker and then we can back to the others.
Oh no, she's here.
Ah, okay. She's here. Angela? Yes. Okay, you can go ahead, Angela.
Okay, please, can you share my slide? Sorry, I was not informed. I thought you said I received a message, an email, but I didn't get the email.
Okay.
So if you can help me share my slide. I was not even ready. I just heard my name and.
Okay, let me share your presentation. So it's here and I will share my screen right now. I think I'm not seeing a full screen. I don't know why, but okay.
Okay,
Go ahead, Angela, and we'll figure out the.
Okay, I'm representing. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Island Innovation, for giving me the opportunity to present my I can't see the video, sorry.
We can see
Okay.
it here. Go ahead.
My island, okay, is located at Braz local government area of Nigeria. It is one of the existing tourism site comprising of a group of communities off the coast of Atlantic Ocean. We have Fantua, we have Okwama, we have Twambras. Twambras is majorly the head of the communities of other sub-communities, while the main island, the main place where the water is dominant is the Okwama community. And these communities are linked to other communities in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. So we basically have the ferries leading people from Bayelsa to Port Harcourt and Delta State. The island, basically, our people here are basically fishermen, and also we deal with coconut and palm fruits. That's the major resources in the island. Then I think majorly the problem we face in this island, Braz Island, is majorly pollution of the water body. We have oil spillage as a problem because Bayelsa is one of the largest oil producing states in Nigeria. So most of the times you see that these communities are being affected by oil spillage that causes a lot of issues. The water body is being polluted, and because our people depend on the fish and they do fish farming, because most of the times on the water bodies, they do fish farming in some area, in some cap area. And you notice when this oil spillage happens, we lose a lot of resources. And by that, so many people are subjected to abject poverty. So a lot of awareness needs to be created. We also have the issue of transportation, the transportation costs, the technology, the infrastructure to transport people from the island to other local government or area, even within the state, is very cost. So sometimes you notice that these communities are being neglected. We have also, you can see from the last page, this is an example now of the case in Okwama, where the land was polluted by oil. In fact, at a point, because of exposure to fire, half of the community was lost. We lost a lot of resources, trees, even the biodiversity, the animals, the species in the water. So most of the times, this is majorly the problem we face, leading the people to poverty to hunger. So the basic SDG in the important SDG in our island is poverty, hunger. We have a lack of infrastructure, and we need partnership and collaboration. The people are really suffering. If you go down, you see this is a case of where people are trying to get dead animals from the seashore. This is Okwama now. The next image, sorry. You notice the only transportation in leading one community to other is through ferry transportation. I think this is majorly the problem we are facing in Braz Island. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I was mute. So thank you so much, Angela, for your presentation. I think it's really interesting to know your perspective in the island. I don't know if Patricia is here now, but I can continue with the next speaker, and then we can back to the Patricia if it's here. But otherwise, I have the presentation from Patricia, so you will have the opportunity to check the presentation. So last speaker now is Luis Fernando Giroto from Florianopolis, Brazil. He is representing the region of Latin America. So Luis Fernando Giroto works as a professor in the Brazilian higher education. He's an engineering focused on organizational intelligence, creativity, innovation management, and climate change. So, Liz?
I don't see him here either, unfortunately.
Okay, so, okay.
But we'll make sure that we have the Pacific and the Latin American regions have a say. And if people from those regions, we picked the ambassadors randomly this time, but if people who represent the Pacific and Latin America want to share presentations, then there will be opportunities for that as well, because it's interesting to have these different perspectives.
Okay, so that's that time we have chosen those ambassadors to present at the stage and represent their islands in island innovation. So we had the opportunity to learn from them. But now next time we will try to choose other ambassadors to speak at the stage, and we will be speaking every meeting and learning from all of you. So if you have any questions now, or if you have any feedback, or if you have something that you would like to discuss now at the, let's say, stage, this is your moment. So you can raise your hand and we can start to discuss now. I don't see any hands.
So Isabel, what would you like people to bring forward and comment?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you say again?
Sorry, what would you like people's comments on?
Okay, so the idea is to comment about the presentations that that you have seen today. So we have the presentation from Borja, from Rafika, from Angela. So the idea is to maybe you can discuss if you can see the same sustainable development goals that they have shared before, or if you are agreed with them, or if you like to discuss something different of their presentation or another perspective in your island. I think it will be really well appreciated.
And I think it'd be very interesting to see which of these points did or did not resonate in your communities. You know, we'd like to talk about what are the biggest issues in different communities and what the priorities are. And clearly this varies from region to region. And Stacey's got her hand up and is keen to go first. So maybe we start with Stacey, and then feel free to type in your other comments or thoughts in the chat, or raise your hand if you'd like to speak.
Thanks so much. Well, just to get the ball rolling and to get you guys to kind of open up, I just wanted to share what struck me, because I'm based in Barbados, and I thought it was wonderful to see the emphasis on collaboration coming from Borja, how important it is for us to cooperate and collaborate. I think that's something that could be said across all island communities. And it's really important for us to realize that we will get so much further if we share and communicate and collaborate. I also really appreciated seeing Alfredo's presentation when he spoke the focus on nature-based solutions with mangrove, building up the mangrove to help protect coastal communities. I think one of the challenges faced by islands everywhere, it's when we're faced with extreme weather events, how do we deal with climate adaptation versus mitigation? And, you know, seeing that these can be quite expensive and can be, you know, it's always daunting to get the funding to do these things. It's really wonderful to see that there's a focus on nature-based solutions, because I think that's something that across the board will have relevance to everyone. I learned so much from Angela's presentation to do with Brass Island. I also appreciated some of the emphases, again, the presentation on the Philippines, to see the importance of focusing on children, how children are affected and traumatized by climate change and extreme weather events can be overlooked. So in general, fantastic presentations from everyone. And I hope to hear some of your opinions now too, because I don't want to do all the talking. So let's hear anyone. You can just raise your hand and James will unmute you.
Completely agree, Stacey. I just saw a comment, someone had asked, it's a bit early in the morning for the Pacific. Yes, that's true. These sessions are going to rotate in terms of the hour that they're held at. So there will be times that not everyone can attend and other times that people can. And so hopefully we'll have more people from the Asia Pacific region next time. I can see some comments coming in through the chat. People commenting about the different SDGs and the different priorities for their different region. Oh, lots of comments coming in. Grace, I see your comment. I don't know if you'd like to voice that.
Yes, Grace, please do share.
Or Farah as well. I can see your comments interesting. If you'd just like to say it, turn on your microphone and share.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Farah, great to see you.
I do appreciate the effort made in all the presentations today, and in particular with Africa's, I think. I'm not sure I can name pronounced properly, because where I used to live before, in my island of Dominica, I remember seeing fires on the hillside, on the mountainside, and there's a type of grass that seems very susceptible to that. It catches very quickly and takes a large area of land. So I'm not sure it's the same type of grass they have over there. I'm just assuming. But yet I wonder if we can find a way to make use of it. I say that because I remember a couple of years ago, at one of the COPs, the COPs, right? There was this group from Sweden. I think they're net zero fuel, net fuel, I don't know their name, but they came up with this idea, this technology that could transfer like sugarcane waste. I think we call it bagasse. And I think there's a type of grass, I think it's elephant grass, some type of grass we have, which most people, we put chemicals in it because we don't know the use. It's like, oh my God, it's a pest, yeah, get rid of it, burn it to the ground, and they actually have use that can be turned into fuel. So I was wondering, you know, if that could be explored a little bit more, you know? So just thinking out loud.
Awesome, thanks. Thinking out loud is great. Kevin, did you want to say something?
Where am I? Here.
Oh,
yeah. So this is Kevin here from Samoa, up the middle of the Pacific. Up early, representing the Pacific, but that's okay. I think, like from my perspective, coming from a tourism angle, it's really refreshing to see the vast differences in terms of what's important in various islands. So, you know, whether it's over there in Africa and the pollution and so forth, or whether it's, you know, some of the other challenges that we saw in the Philippines, particularly with extreme weather events and so forth. But, you know, the common thing seems to be in terms of the climate change and whatever else. So I'm going to leave climate change to everyone else because there's plenty of voices out there. I'll be there supporting the climate change, but focusing more on the local, or what I perceive as the local needs in terms of sustainable development, particularly here in Samoa with tourism and post-COVID recovery plans. So thank you, everyone. It was great, and I look forward to more.
Fantastic, thank you. I think we have time for maybe, I know we've gone a little bit over, but we'll just take 2 or 3 more comments. Gerardo in Canarias, you have your hand up. Would you like to say something?
Yes, thank you very much. I would like to talk a bit about, as I see the SDGs, as part of them actually being the purpose, the goal, like for example, end poverty or zero hunger, and other SDGs as a solution or a goal in between to achieve the other SDGs. Okay, so I know many people talked here about reaching to the SDGs, like for example, renewable energy. But I think renewable energy or raising the equality, equality between people, it's actually a mean to reach the goal of zero hunger or end poverty. Okay, so this is just a discussion I want to start, not necessarily to say something, because just to share my point of view and see if others think the same as me, because this is very important for us to distinguish which SDG we want to achieve. That's it.
Thank you. Appreciate that, those thoughts. This is great. Two more people before we wrap up. So I saw someone is Pumpkin Plus, which I think is that Nazmul?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much for such a good initiative. I'm Nazmul Chaudhary from Bangladesh. Actually, I'm dealing with island work, particularly on the river basin program for growing pumpkin and other high value crops. So this is for the landless community, those who are climate change refugee after losing their home and businesses. They are living in public places. So my company has taken initiative, how can we resume the livelihood to turn sand into a productive land for agribusiness system development. Actually, I have seen all the presentations and all are brilliant presentations, and the organizers, you are doing fantastic work to connecting this innovator or entrepreneurs or philanthropists in a same platform. So my ask is how can this community can connect each other for sharing knowledge and experience to benefit vulnerable communities living in global different climate affected pockets. And targeting SDG, I think I have two opinions. If we target SDG and set our work, this will work. But as a practitioner and working at grassroots level, we need some bigger actions and multiple actions, and actions will lead us direction to the goal we are reaching. So there are 17 SDGs. We never thought about SDGs or UN development goal before 15 years. But now when we measuring our impact, I can see my innovation. I have sent my presentation to Isabel, so it can be shown how this small work is reaching around 10 SDG goals out of 17, and by the highly vulnerable, displaced, landless community. So these things need to be clearly identified, analyzed before setting our project goal or financing. And lastly, the finance is a big issue. Some of my friends raised these issues for island community, for entrepreneur or innovator. So how can we explore not a big fund? We don't need million or billion funding. We need 100,000, 100 to 500,000 dollars. So how this funding could be linked with the innovations around the world to support the island, initiator and communities. Thank you very much for hearing.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And of course, this is a chance for me to mention again the Island Finance Forum we have coming up very soon, which will tackle some of those issues. And I look forward to learning more about the islands in Bangladesh as well. Last
you.
person, just for a comment, we'll go back to Gail, maybe to finish up.
Yes, it strikes me that the word that keeps popping out is vulnerability, and islands are always vulnerable. So all the issues are about vulnerability, and I'm really struck by thinking in those terms, using that as our, overriding umbrella, and then looking at all these various issues and working together, because islands, as we know, are very unique, and we are extremely vulnerable, from climate change to economics to everything. So I hope we'll discuss that further. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you everyone for all of these great comments. There's a lot to be discussed here, of course, and would encourage you all, if you haven't already, to join the Slack group. You'll see on Slack, there's a number of different channels where you'll have the opportunity to interact with people. And now, of course, you have the map that you can explore to find out who else is in your area and start to connect those. And so over the next few weeks, there'll be more and more opportunities to connect with people in your region, so you can find out who else on your island or on neighboring islands are working, but also people around the whole community who have shared interests. We'll make sure that we send an email summary with the map links and everything else. And Christian, if you could just repost in the Slack, in the chat here again, the Slack link for anyone else who hasn't made it there yet, and also the WhatsApp link for people to have any reminders. Back to you, Isabel, to wrap up.
Okay, so thank you so much for your presentation, from the time of the speakers to speak today with us, to the presenters, and share the sustainable development goals in your islands, in your region. So today you have been the representatives of your regions, but the next time we will have more ambassadors with us. So I think it's really important to continue participating in our activities, so that we will encourage you to be involved in. So I'm participating we have conversations in the Slack group. So I think this is really important. I have seen really good messages there, and this is the place to connect. I have seen some messages in the chat asking where I can connect with other ambassadors. The place to share news, to share information is this place, Slack. So we have some groups for you. Youth and advocacy, we have business and private sector, academia and research. So I think it's really important to share your ideas there. And why those groups, why those channels? Because you have the opportunity to speak with the people that is working on the same sector of you, or for example, youth and advocacy, you can see people that is starting their professional life, so they will have the opportunity to share ideas together. So that's why we separate those channels. Now I want to close this session, thanking you for participating at this session. I hope to see you next time. Next meeting will be Ambassador Meetup session. So it will be on March 22 and 22nd, sorry. And then it will be at 9 a.m. London time, based of London time. So you will have the information in the Ambassador Resources website, and the topic of the session will be Knowledge Bank. So again, you will have the recording on the Ambassador Resources page. You have this page, and you have the password already. So if you haven't seen this page, you can send me an email, and I will be really happy to answer you. I'm really happy to receive all of your emails, but I prefer always communicate by email instead of WhatsApp. I'm not really active there. So if you can send me the information by email, I will be really happy to answer all of your messages. So nothing else from my side today. So thank you so much, all of you, for participating. I hope to see you next time, and have a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon, and enjoy the rest of the week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.